What's going on, Z Nation? This is Ramsey here, and today we're jumping into an in-depth guide on Wraith. Now, Wraith is personally one of my favorite characters. She has a lot of mobility. I'll show you her mobility when I go through each one of these abilities one by one. Now, like all characters in Apex Legends, she has a passive, a tactical, and an ultimate ability. First, we're going to jump into the passive ability, Voices from the Void. Now, with this ability, you hear a spectral voice audibly warn you if someone is looking or aiming at you, or if there are traps nearby, such as Caustic Snox gas trap. Now, let's take a pause right here. Had I not been warned that somebody was watching me, I may not have seen this person. Now, one of the biggest things to remember with this ability is that only you can hear these voices. If you and your team are running across a field and you hear that voice, they don't. So you'll have to let them know. You can either communicate that verbally, or the game gives you the option to press H and to warn the teammates. As you can see, this ability prevented a flank in this instance. Now, in case you didn't notice it, it sounds like this.
They might be watching.
If you didn't catch it the first time, rewind and check it out again. This ability is so underutilized, it's crazy to me. Not only does it let you know if somebody's watching you, but a lot of the times it'll let you know they have a sniper. And that's before any shot ever even gets fired. This ability alone can help your team from getting flanked or surprise attacked. Now in this video, they were aiming at my teammate. As soon as I heard the voice that they were aiming at me, I turned and got out of their sight lines.
You're being aimed at.
Now this is easily one of the best passive abilities in the entire game. So I can't stress it enough, do not underutilize this ability. Now next we're going to take a look at the tactical ability of Wraith. This is called Into the Void. Now this ability is on a 19-second cooldown, and upon activation, you enter the Void. While in the Void, everything is sort of a blur to the side, you're invulnerable, and your outside appearance is obscured, making it difficult to follow you. However, you can't see other players while you're in the Void. And while you're in the Void, you're leaving sort of a faint trail that enemies can use to track you. Now I've seen a lot of guides that say, oh, Wraith is a shotgunner. Use her to close the gap and then shotgun them down. But charging at somebody blind while they can see you and then popping out just to find out they moved behind where your location is not the smartest idea. Now, this ability does make you invulnerable, so using it for something like Bangalore's Rolling Thunder is perfect. However, remember that it takes time for those ordnances to explode, so don't pop it as soon as she pops her ultimate. And when I say it makes you invulnerable, I mean to all damage. If you have a teammate that goes down outside the ring, or say the ring's closing and you're barely going to make it, you can pop this ability and actually survive outside the ring without taking any damage while this ability is active. A lot of times I'll use it to go outside the ring and get storage bins, or to escape an enemy team that's chasing me, or to sneak around into another cave just to get a different direction on the map. Now, just to clear up some misconception with this ability, this is not a speed boost, so don't use it as such. The ability just gives you the look and the feel of you moving faster. Now moving on to what I believe to be one of the best ultimates in the game, Dimensional Rift. It links two locations with portals for 60 seconds. Now the big thing to remember is that not only teammates can go through it, but enemies as well. For Wraith to charge this ability, it takes 2.5 minutes to build up 100% of her ultimate. Now I want you guys to remember something that I came up with. I call it the 3 Fs. It's flee, flank, and fish. Now let me walk you through some videos to describe each aspect of what I mean by these 3 Fs. Now if you're normally a teammate of a Wraith, then you can always look at your map to see where the portal entrances are. They'll be located and identified by the same icon that's used as the ultimate icon. Now in this first video, this is what I call the basic flee. This is what most people use Dimensional Rift for. They kind of use it to give their team more time to loot around or do whatever they want outside of the zone, and then create a portal that links them and their entire team inside the ring. This also helps if you're a long ways away from the ring and you're trying to cover huge distances really quick. Obviously you want to use jump balloons, but this can help bridge the gap between those jump balloons. You can see when using this ability, you're given a certain percentage. Now you can either left click to place the end of the portal, or you can wait for that percentage to hit 0. Once it hits 0, it will automatically place the portal wherever you're standing. Now remember, this ability isn't like Into the Void. You can be injured while outside of the ring or from other players shooting you. So it doesn't make you invulnerable, but it does give you a large speed boost. Now if you notice, whenever you stop, the rift energy stops moving, so you can constantly stand in this position. That means that the rift energy is distance dependent. So don't feel like you have to rush and put this thing down as fast as you can. That covers the basic flee. Now we'll look at the Ramsey flee. This is me utilizing the speed boost that you gain from this to get around the map quicker and get out of danger. Now in this case, both my teammates were down. I had one banner, the other banner was in the distance, and I was surrounded by 2 different teams. Now I knew I couldn't take both teams by myself, or at least I didn't want to try. So I had to come up with a plan to not only get his banner, but to get them to a beacon. So in this video, this is a good example of how to chain your abilities back to back. At this point I could see in the right side, there was a third team we were fighting earlier and they're completely dead. I happened to run across another team while trying to get to my teammate's body. I didn't have the shield power, nor the time to mess with this team, so I pushed and popped into the void to get to my teammate. Now, as I said earlier, it didn't help me run faster, it just helped me be immune as I got to him. Now at this point I had both my teammates' banners, so it's time to pop that Ramsey flea. Utilizing the speed boost that you get from this ultimate, I evaded all of the other enemy teams and worked my way towards the beacon to revive my teammates. Next, we'll take a look at the second F, flank. Now at this point, my team was on top of the airbase. We were in a sniping position with another team who was across the other side of the airbase, also in a sniping position. We were having trouble with them because they were taking cover behind the rock. So without giving up our high position, but still flushing them out and putting pressure on them from both sides, I created a rift and dropped down. That way we could pressure the team from multiple sides and flush them out of that pocket. I did all of this while still leaving us the ability to get right back to our high ground and back to our sniping position. Now remember that the portal is only open for 60 seconds. So you might want to time it, that way you don't get stuck down there with no ability to get back to your team. That would leave you exposed and an open target to the enemy team. Now a good habit to get into when placing a portal is always looking behind you at the portal as you come out. Remember that the portal can be used with the enemy team as well. Now that you created a flanking position though, you can easily travel back and forth as many times as you want. There's no limit. You can confuse the enemy team and keep putting pressure on them in this way. Now we'll get into the last and probably my favorite F, fishing. Now, this is my way of exploiting the fact that enemy teams can use my dimensional rift as well. Now, in this instance, we were stuck in a crossfight with another team with only 5 squads left. So, I used my flanking, yeah, remember that F? I used that to get around the enemy team. Now from here, my job is just to distract. I'm supposed to be bait. This is what I would call me fishing. You just distract them enough to kind of get them on the hook. Then they'll chase you. Most people do. Most teams can't deny the urge to jump into somebody's portal and see where it goes. Remember, curiosity killed the cat. Once you've distracted them enough, you just sit back and wait. They're bound to come through. As you can see, the bait works just as predicted. I didn't just hook 1 this time. I got to hook 2. If you guys found this guide helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any other suggestions on what you want to see, don't forget to throw a comment down in the comment section. And I'll see you later, Z Nation.